to the races. It's getting dangerous. I'm here for the thrill, and I'm feeling amazing.
Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. "161 years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence."
I believe that if you get your degree, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
Game 2 of a doubleheader between the visiting Grand Valley State Lakers and the home team Bulldogs here for some club softball on the campus of Adrian College. My name is Sean Whitmer, and joined with me in the booth today is Michael Hale. Michael, you called the first game between these two. As I mentioned, it's a triple header today, so we have one more game after this. What did you see in that first game that the Lakers won that you're hoping the Bulldogs can counteract in order to steal game 2?
Well, really, Sean, it was just the second inning. The Bulldogs gave up 7 runs after scoring 2 in the bottom of the first, and the Bulldogs were just never able to pass that 7-run mark.
Of course, the Lakers, as we mentioned, able to come away with the win on that. If I'm not mistaken, final score was 14-7.
Yes, you are correct.
So, Bulldogs had their score doubled by the Lakers in the first game, only playing 7 innings in each of these games today. If you're the Lakers, what do you do to continue momentum carrying through in this game?
Just keep playing your style of ball. Just swing at the strikes that you see, and then leave the ones that are away.
I think the Lakers played very fair baseball earlier today, mind you, not yesterday. They're going to hope to carry that through to this game, but of course I think the Bulldogs might be trying to play a little bit of mind games here and get their lineup card in early so that they can just relax, have everyone ready. Of course, Bulldogs had their lineup card ready about right after the first game was over. Grand Valley was still making a few changes down on the sideline before the game started. For the Bulldogs in the last game, they were led by
Michelle Huffman, who had 3 singles, a double, and 3 runs scored.
So a very phenomenal player. She was hitting in the 3-hole in the first game.
That's in the 6th tonight for
So
this game.
In the 6th for this game, playing in center field. It'll be interesting to see if she's able to continue her hot streak, and if she is, will she carry that through for all 3 games today? Grand Valley State didn't really have a lot of weaknesses shown by their offense. It was kind of a team game that they played all throughout. And the Lakers come into this on a 5-game winning streak after the last game
It's actually a 4-game winning streak after the last game.
So 4-game after the last game. They beat Bowling Green 10-4 and 10-1 and 9-4 last week. So we're going to step aside for a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on ACTV.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
I'm a recent graduate from Michigan State University.
I'm an underwater cinematographer.
So I didn't really decide I wanted to become a pilot till after college.
Jevy is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
Involve yourself as many opportunities that you can.
The number one most important thing is knowing your own weaknesses.
Proper planning.
Breakfast.
It's always something different, something new.
The fact that you can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Hello and welcome back. We just had our coaches conference with the umpires, and now we have the Bulldog players coming out to do a little bit of a warm-up before the game starts. Pitching for today's action is going to be number 13, Haley Holmes. So the Bulldogs are getting their warm-ups in. Of course, umpires still standing there waiting, but once the Bulldogs are done, we will hopefully get underway here soon. Michael, do you have any numbers coming into today for Haley Holmes pitching?
Yes, I do, Sean. This is her 8th start and 11th appearance. She is 1-0 with a 6.6 ERA through 40 1/3 innings pitched.
So she's played a little bit. Would like to see the ERA get down, but all things considered, not the worst statistics in the world. And while we wait for this game to get underway, I just want to remind you to stay connected with all the action by following at Adrian College TV on social media. From game highlights to campus events, we've got you covered. Don't miss a moment. Follow at Adrian College TV today. So the Bulldogs not making a terribly amount of changes, but definitely getting their lineups reorganized a little bit, losing that first game by 7 runs. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, 7-inning game, 2 more 7-inning games today. On the call for the third game will be Remington Gilniak. But for this one, you have myself, Sean Whitmer, and Michael Hale in the booth. First game was Michael all by himself, so if I reference him going forward in this broadcast, it's because he actively sat there and watched the whole first game. Just want to remind you that Adrian College TV, our broadcasts are fully student run. And of course, in the booth with me today, as I mentioned, is myself, Sean Whitmer, and Michael Hale on the call. But we also have director Cameron Overmeyer helping us run the broadcast behind the scenes. So it looks like we're going to be getting underway here in just a moment. Holmes giving some high fives to her infield. First batter coming into the box for the Grand Valley State lineup is going to be number 9.
Catherine Ponton.
So Catherine Ponton coming in. She awaits the first pitch. Holmes delivers. It's going to be in there for strike one. Holmes getting ahead of the count early. Ponton waits. Holmes with the delivery. Ponton swings on it, pops straight up into the air, and Holmes with the easy out. So 2-pitch at bat for the first at bat of the inning. Holmes will get out of that cleanly. Now up to bat is going to be Brooke
Melick,
as she's going to hit one out to center field. And it's going to be thrown in cleanly to the cutoff. Out there in center is going to be number 7 for the Bulldogs, Michelle Huffman. Holmes delivers once again. Swing and a miss. As that's going to be Brooke Vandenberg. She'll watch that pitch in for a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, runner on first. Holmes delivers to Vandenberg. Swing on, good contact, out to center field. It's going to be an easy read on the fly ball, so quick little fly out to center. Once again, another nice play made by Huffman. Staying alert out there in center field for the Bulldogs. Holmes. She has 2 out. A little bit of a pitch out situation. Now up to bat is number 7, Casey Scott for the Lakers. She's going to knock one down the third base line, and it goes fair. Rolling into the corner. Left fielder chasing. Runners will hold at third and second. Left fielder for the Bulldogs, who threw it in, was Caitlin Fry.
Casey Scott keeps a hot game going. She was 2 for 4 in the first game with 2 runs scored and a 2 RBI single.
That one's in for a ball. So it's a 1-0 count. Scott awaits. She watches in strike one. 1-1 count. The 1-1. Bat has not left Casey Scott's shoulder all at bat. She has to step out of the box and take a practice swing just to remember what it feels like. So it's going to be a 2-1 count with 2 out, runners on second and third. Anything out of the infield that gets down will score 2 likely, as that's going to be in for ball 3. So Casey Scott works the count to a 3-1. Would not be surprised if Holmes decides to walk Scott here and get a force out anywhere. Holmes delivers. Watched in for strike 2. Count is full. Wouldn't be surprised if Scott shortens her stance, chokes up on the bat a little bit just to make sure she can get the barrel on it. Don't want to swing and miss on a full count with 2 outs, and she'll make some contact straight into the air. Coming in for the out is going to be the first baseman for the Bulldogs. And that's going to be number 11, Riley Jessie Girelli, mind you. So, coming up for the Lakers is going, or for the Bulldogs, mind you, is going to be Elizabeth Grady, Kylie McClanahan, and Greer Simpson. So that's going to be the second baseman, catcher, and shortstop in that order, as coming out to warm up for the Lakers. Did not catch a number on the pitcher. It's going to be number 15, Bella Shinavare, out of Newport, Michigan. She's a senior from St. Mary's Catholic Central High School. She gets her warm-up pitches in, and we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back here on ACTV.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Hello and welcome back here on ACTV. My name is Sean Whitmer, and joined with me in the booth is Michael Hale, as we got our first batter for the Bulldogs in the box. That's going to be Elizabeth Grady. Shinavare delivers. Grady checks. It's going to be in for a ball. Grady holds off, so it's a 1-1 count. Shinavare in with ball 2. Scorecard says it's a 1-2 count. Should be 2-2. That's going to be knocked up in the air and right behind first base. Second baseman able to make the play. Playing over at second is Catherine Ponton. Now in for the Bulldogs, Kylie McClanahan. That's going to be fouled away for strike 1.
In the first game today, McClanahan had 1 run scored and 2 runs scored and reached base twice.
In for ball. So 1-1 count for McClanahan, no one on. Shinovare got the first batter out. McClanahan watches in strike 2. Shinovare delivers. McClanahan rolls over, and it will be a foul ball. Straight back towards the Lakers dugout. Shinovare goes outside on the pitch. McClanahan holds off. Brings the count to 2-2. McClanahan hits this down the third base line. It's going to be thrown over to first, but in safe. Beating out the throw is McClanahan. It was number 22, Avery Halo, for the Lakers. In with a hit out to right field. It gets past the right fielder. Running around third and coming home is McClanahan. She'll be in for the first run of the game. Bulldogs strike first, and Shinovare gives up an RBI double. That was Greer Simpson. In for strike 1. Caitlin Fry watched that in. Now hit over the first baseman. Fry going to take the single, and Simpson holds it third. So we have runners on the corners with 1 out. Double play scenario for Shinovare. Like to get out of this first inning with 1 run given up. Now right back up the middle. It's a perfect double play ball. Shortstop flings over to first for 2. And she does it all unassisted. Great play by the Lakers shortstop. And we will go into the second inning with the Bulldogs leading 1-0. You're watching Bulldog Club Softball here on ACTV.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
And we're back here on ACTV. We got Michael Hale running the scorebook for us. He gave that last run there a single and then an E9. So if your scorebook is correct, that means that Shinovare gets out of that inning without an earned run given up. But nonetheless, a run goes on the scoreboard. Warming up for the Bulldogs is going to be Haley Holmes. And she will get her little mini conference with her infielders before getting underway. And for the Lakers is going to be number 44, Ava Bunting. She'll hold off on the first pitch. It's in for a ball. Umpire calls that one high. Holmes versus Bunting. Starts with a 1-0 count in favor of Holmes, or in favor of Bunting, mind you. Holmes delivers the second pitch. It's chopped out to right field, and it will get down. And Bunting wisely sprints to beat out the throw. Robinson tried to catch her off guard and chuck one down to first. Holmes versus Jaden Jubek. As that's right up the middle. Tag out, the runner running to second. No throw on for first, so one out. Double play scenario still viable. You got Jubek at first. Coming up to bat is going to be Grace Odenbach. Holmes delivers just high. So that's going to be ball one for Odenbach. As a pitcher yourself, Michael, how important is it for Holmes to get out of this inning only seeing 3 batters?
It's going to be pretty important, especially with a 1-0 lead. But like we saw in that last game, the second inning was where the Bulldogs struggled. But after that, they were pretty good. So I think as long as they can get out of this second inning without too much damage, I think they'll do pretty good.
Odenbach awaits. Holmes delivers inside. Odenbach had to scoot back quite a bit. So we're going to be sitting at a 2-1 count. Of course, runner on first is Jubek. Holmes delivers. Swing and a miss. So 2-2 count. Odenbach awaits. Holmes confirms the call. She delivers. Odenbach swing on. Good contact. It'll get past the right fielder. Jubek rounds second, goes to third. She'll stay at third, so runners sit at third and second. Same situation Holmes was in the first inning. She was able to get out of the jam before the Bulldogs put up that one run. Now coming up to the dish is going to be number 22, Avery Halo. Holmes sends that one in high for a ball. Of course, a little bit of a colder day, so a lot of the Grand Valley State players are wearing some sort of jacket or windbreaker to break up some of that cold morning air. This delivers, swing on, and it's going to go foul. So Holmes sits with a 1-1 count, 1 out. Runners on third and second. With the pitch outside. So high and away. Pitched away from Avery Halo there. Now Holmes in with ball 3. Fans behind home plate didn't seem to like that call as much.
That was a very close pitch. It really could have gone either way, I think. But
now Holmes delivers. And that's going to be a walk. So taking her base is going to be Avery Halo. Ponton up to bat. She'll swing on. It kicks off the second baseman, and it looks like 2 runners are going to score. It gets past the center fielder as well, so we're going to have a third come around. And the Lakers will take 3 on what will likely be classified as 2 errors on that play. Should have had at least 1 out. Leads to 3 runs. Runner able to take second. Ball kicked off Grady, and then it slipped past Michelle Huffman out in center. This one chopped down the third base line. Third baseman can't get it to go over to first, and that's going to get past the first baseman. Running in to home is Ponton, who will score. So another run scored on an error. Holmes pitching well, but the infield not giving her any assistance. So she will call a little bit of a conference. Not every day you see the pitcher call the mound visit, but that's what we're going to have right now is Holmes wants to make sure that her infielders are understanding what's going on a little bit.
Yeah, this is just a good way to settle down the infield. Couple of errors early in this inning. Just settle down the infield and try to get this second out and possibly even a double play ball here.
Double play ball would be crucial, as it would get Holmes out of this inning. But every runner that's gotten on so far has scored, except for
Ava Bunting, who was tagged out to begin the inning.
Holmes delivers. Swing on high, deep to center field, backing up and making the play out there is Huffman. She'll get it back in. So runner stays at first. Now any out will do for Holmes. She signals 2 outs. Coming in is Casey Scott, number 7. Holmes delivers. Scott watches that through. Scott was able to get all the way to second her last time up. Cuts in close, but Scott avoids contact with the ball, so she'll stand in there for the 1-1. Holmes delivers. Scott swing and a miss. Pretty high up there above the zone. Scott went chasing. So it's a 1-2 count. A strikeout here could increase the Bulldogs' confidence tenfold as Holmes sends this one in, and Scott will send it down for the left fielder, who will get it into third quickly. Out there playing left for the Bulldogs is Caitlin Fry. Good job relaying that ball back inside. Holmes awaits. Now with the delivery, as this one's skied up for Fry, and she'll get the third out of the inning. And it's going to be a 4-run inning for the Lakers. Most of those runs coming on errors unofficially. And that'll make the score 4-1 in favor of the Lakers. Don't go anywhere as you're watching club softball here on ACTV.
Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, gut out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Hello and welcome back here on ACTV. So, Grand Valley State comes in with 7 hits and 1 error into this inning, where Adrian comes in with 2 hits and 2 errors. Of course, the score is sitting at 4-1 in favor of the Lakers. Shinavare gets her warm-up pitches in. Now she'll have her conference with her infielders. She's probably telling them something along the lines of, hey, let's keep things clean and not make errors, and we'll probably get out of this inning keeping our lead.
That, or it's just, hey, you got this. Just go out and make these pitches that you want to make, and we'll get out of this inning.
Coming in to hit for the Bulldogs is going to be Michelle Huffman, the center fielder. She awaits the first offering from Shinavare. Comes in for strike 1. Seems as if Hoffman thought that was outside. Shinavare delivers, and that's going to be in for ball 1. So a 1-1 count. Hoffman not liking either of the pitches she's seen. It's going to be low and kicked away for ball 2. Huffman showing phenomenal patience right now. Shinavare delivers. So that's high for ball 3. Just about every pitch has been close, except for that ball 2 call that skipped in. So this is going to be drilled down the first base line for a foul. Shinavare has the count full with Huffman. Shinavare delivers. Huffman watches in strike 3. So Shinavare with the strikeout. It's going to be her first K of the day. Now coming up to the plate for the Bulldogs is going to be Haley Holmes, the pitcher. She skies this one up straight to the first baseman. A little bit of miscommunication could have led to a dropped ball, but good job pulling off last second. Still a little bit of contact there between Ponton and Odenbach, as that's in for strike 1. Shinavare delivers ball 1. Brianna Scott watches in ball 2.
Brianna was 1 for 4 in the first game with a single on a full count pitch.
And a swing and a miss. So Scott falls down in the count. Well, she draws the count even at 2-2. Scoreboard in the outfield says 3-1. That's going to be in there for ball 3, so It's a 3-2 count. Shinovare walks Scott, so first base runner of the inning. Now up to the plate, Sarah Kozel. Shinovare starts off with a strike. Kozel with the swing and a miss. That's in there for a ball, and getting back just in time was Scott.
In the last game, Sarah Kozel drew 2 walks and reached base 3 times.
As Kozel sends that one foul, right back above her dugout. Shinovare delivers. It's going to be strike 3 looking. So Kozel watched that in, and that'll retire the side for Shinovare. Lakers still lead 4-1 as we go into the third inning of play. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Club Softball on ACTV.
Looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Hello and welcome back. You're watching Club Softball here on Adrian College TV as the visiting Grand Valley State Lakers are currently up 4-1 over the Adrian College Bulldogs. Up to the dish right now is Ava Bunting playing out in center. Of course, Haley Holmes, our starter for today. She sends that first pitch in for a ball. So a 1-0 count for Holmes on Bunting.
And in the second inning, Grand Valley batted around, and Ava Bunting led off last inning. So
Bunting will send this one down the third baseline foul. Seemed to jam her up a little bit there. She's shaking out her hands. Holmes looking to get her call. Stands in ready. She delivers to Bunting. That's going to be in there for a strike. 1-1 count. Everyone's ready. Holmes delivers. And Bunting watches in strike 3. So that's going to be Holmes' first strikeout of the game, I believe. Michael is signaling me yes. So Holmes gets her first K of the game. Now going up against Jaden Jubik. She'll watch in strike 1. Holmes awaits. She delivers, and Jubik fouls this one back into that backstop fence there. Just at the top of that fence, though, it was almost ball over here into the fans.
Almost skipped over. That wouldn't have been good for any of these fans.
Holmes delivers. Jubik sends this one over the third baseman and out into left. Be relayed back in. Holmes awaits Odenbach. Both are ready. First pitch of the at-bat. Holmes gets it in there for a ball.
Just missed. If that did miss, it looked like it was over the plate from back here.
Of course, we're not directly behind home plate, but pretty close as that's right back up the middle. Odenbach will take first and move over the runner to second. So we got runners on first and second, one out. Up to the plate is Avery Halo. Holmes delivers. Halo will watch that in for a ball.
That also looked like a great pitch. Might have come over a little bit high though, but nonetheless a wonderful first pitch.
The 1-0 is going to be fouled away. So 1-1 count. Going back to that first pitch of the at-bat, as you mentioned, it ran in close, but it was called high. I don't think anybody in the stands behind the umpire agreed, as I've seen a lot of hands and heads moving. It's how he's called it all day, though. This is in for strike two. Halo back in. Last thing she wants right now is to get into a double play. Holmes delivers the 1-2. And a swing and miss from Halo. So that's going to be another strikeout for Holmes. Her second of the game, and both came in this inning. Now the leadoff, Ponton, is up. She'll watch in the first pitch for a strike. It's her third time up in just as many innings.
And Holmes has done a great job getting ahead early in counts.
That's going to be high for ball one. She has done a really good job getting ahead in counts, and it seems like that's something she's trying to do more of as the game goes on, seeing that, you know, it's a little bit cold. The fielders are making a little bit more mistakes than maybe they usually do. So she's trying to keep everybody inside themselves, as that's over to second for one. She'll throw to first, and we'll get out of the inning. No runners score in the top of the third. Bulldogs will look to change that for the bottom half. Don't go anywhere as you're watching club softball here on ACTV.
Welcome to Adrian College, where we believe in educating both the heart and the mind. With over 100 innovative academic programs and 10 cutting-edge institutes, you'll find a path that's right for you. Join our vibrant community of over 50 athletic teams and discover why we're recognized as a U.S. News & World Report Most Innovative Institution. Adrian College, where passion meets purpose. Your future starts here.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
So a big second inning for the Lakers as they currently sit up 4-1. Bulldogs haven't scored since the bottom of the first. They're going to look to change that here in this inning. Just a quick reminder as that ball's fouled back to stay connected with all the action by following at Adrian College TV on social media. From game highlights to campus events, we've got you covered. Don't miss a moment. Follow at Adrian College TV today. That's going to be followed back. Same situation up over our heads. So, thankfully, that means all the fans in attendance are safe. It's going to be the leadoff, Grady, sending this one down for a foul. It's a little bit of a closer foul. Most of the fouls going down the third base line have been so clear and obvious. The batter doesn't even move.
Yeah, it looked like Grady got a little bit ahead of it there. So it had that slice to keep going foul off as it was hit off the end of the bat.
It's going to be in for a ball. So 1-2 count. Great patience by Grady as she was sitting at an 0-2. Shinovare will deliver. And that's going to be knocked through the infield for a base hit. Grady's going to hold. It was almost not a base hit as right fielder got that in there quickly. But it will be scored a hit.
Yep, just a hit, no errors involved as no advancements were made after any types of throws. So just a normal single.
McClanahan looked like she wanted to do a late bunt there. Hand drifted up the barrel of the bat, but she pulled back just in time to watch that in for a strike. She'll chop this one straight up, and it will be caught by Ellie Cove. Cove playing shortstop. Now in for the Bulldogs. Greer, their shortstop, as Shinovare drops the ball as it's delivered back to her. Shinovare delivers. Greer sends it on the ground. 2nd to 1. 1st for 2. And that'll do it for the inning. A quick one for Shinovare as she retires the Bulldogs in order. Don't go anywhere as you're watching ACTV. We'll be back right after this.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
I'm a recent graduate from Michigan State University.
I'm an underwater cinematographer.
So I didn't really decide I wanted to become a pilot till after college.
Jevy is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
Involve yourself as many opportunities that you can.
The number one most important thing is knowing your own weaknesses. Proper planning.
Breakfast.
It's always something different, something new.
The fact that you can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
Not much has changed since the second inning as we start the 4th. Holmes gets her warm-ups in. Now she'll have her infielder council. Coming up to bat is going to be
Brooke Mellick. She has 2 singles on the day thus far.
So Mellick looking to continue her hot streak. It's her 3rd at bat. She's 2 for 2 on the day. She'll watch in the first pitch for a ball. Something we haven't seen a lot of from Holmes as of late is falling behind in counts. She'll start this one 1-0. Holmes delivers. Mellick chopped past the third base side into left field for a single. Fry hits the cutoff perfectly to keep Mellick at first. It's interesting as the Lakers players are rounding first and getting quite a big lead right away as they're making their way to second. So any passed ball on the cutoff is going to advance the runner, as this is right over to the third base side, and it's going to get chopped away. Runners will advance to 3rd and 2nd. Pretty routine play, likely going to be classified as an error. One runner probably should have gotten out there. As I look over and see an E5 written down in your book over there. Holmes delivers the first pitch. It's going to be inside for a ball. Scott awaits the second offering. Holmes in for a strike.
Holmes is going to be looking for her first out of the inning, trying to get a ground ball or a pop fly in the infield.
Well, if you're Holmes, you're really hoping you can get a strikeout here to get one away and then maybe walk the next batter to set up the double play scenario. But either way, trying to keep a clean inning here. Ground ball will likely score the runner from 3rd. As Holmes will deliver this for a ball. 3-1 count. If the runner advances to first, there will be a force out anywhere. Holmes with the delivery. It's chopped foul, bringing the count full. Scott coming in here 2 for 2 before this at bat. Now sitting with a full count. It's going to be chopped foul once again. Scott really trying to pull this ball. Just pulling it a little bit too far. Holmes delivers, and Scott pulls it far once again for a foul down the third base line. Scott battling through this at bat. It's already up to a 7-pitch at bat. send this straight to third, and they'll get one. There was no force out at third, but bag was still stepped on. Brianna Scott over there playing third base for the Bulldogs. Stepped on the bag before throwing it over to first. So now we got a runner on third with one out. That's hit right off the glove of Scott. Runner got confused, but she'll score easily. I believe that should be the second run of the inning. Scoreboard out there in left only has one accredited. Holmes checking her band. Send this in. So that's in for ball one on Bunting. And it looked like Bunting wanted to lay down a bunt. Holmes over to Bunting. Knocked to short. And going to first for one, but Bunting has the speed to beat it out. It's going to go as an infield hit. Game is rolling through quickly now, as already in the top of the fourth. Once again, only a 7-inning game. Holmes with the delivery. Watching it through is Jubic. Holmes delivers once again. It's on the ground to short. To second for one, and going to eat it on the throw, not throwing it over to first. It's a smart play over there by Elizabeth Grady, second baseman. Of course, play was ultimately made by Greer, flipping it over to Grady. So now we got runners on the corners with two out. Odenbach, as the second run has officially been accredited to the Lakers. Holmes delivers, and Odenbach climbing a ladder to take a hack at it, but it's still going to be well behind.
Good pitch from Holmes. Like you said, climbing the ladder, possibly setting up something for later in the at-bat.
That's going to be in for a ball. Pitch location's about the same, but Odenbach held off, so I think you are right as far as setting up something. I think she's probably going to try to drop something in now. Holmes delivers. Odenbach chops it over, and the right fielder will eat the throw, so a third run comes across to bring this score to 7-1 in favor of the Lakers. Holmes delivers this up into the air for a foul from Halo. As the sun finally starting to come out here in southern Michigan.
We saw a little bit of sun come out late in the first game, but the clouds covered it back up to begin this game.
Holmes delivers the 0-1, and that's going to be a 1-1 count. I see you shrugging as you disagree with the call there.
Yeah, it appeared to be at the top of the zone, but the home plate blue doesn't think so. Thinks it was a little too high.
Holmes delivers this one as it's back foul and sounded like it might have went into the window of the other box over there to our right. If they have that window open, it is now filled with a softball.
Well, occupies a softball. Not filled by it.
Very true. Holmes delivers the 1-2. It's in there for a ball. Of course, Michael Hale, our ACTV's resident pitching expert, as he pitches for the club baseball team here on campus. Holmes for the 2-2. And it's a swing and a miss from Halo. So Holmes closes out the inning with a strikeout. But still 3 runs scored by the Lakers to bring the total to 7-1 as you're watching club softball here on ACTV.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1-to-15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
Lakers keep extending their lead as they sit up 7-1. And some of the players are starting to get a little warm out there as they're taking off the windbreakers. So Shinavare getting a couple warm-up pitches in as this is going to be thrown down to second. Coming up first is going to be Caitlin Fry, and then it's Taylor Robinson and Michelle Huffman. Shinavare has looked good so far, giving up that early run and hasn't really given much for the Bulldogs to work with since.
Looks like there might be a switch for the Bulldogs, as it looks like Bulldog head coach Caitlin Probelski is talking with the home plate umpire about something.
Curious what the switch would be, as warm-up has already taken place. The batter on the on-deck circle is who should be on deck. That's Taylor Robinson. Batter up to the plate is still Caitlin Fry, so might be a change that we're going to see in the next inning. Could also be a change for later in the day, as checking our weather radar up here in the booth, we do see some rain on it, but it shouldn't hit us anytime soon.
2 to 2:15 is what it looks like.
So that's about
hit, so
it's about
45 minutes or so.
Yeah, sometime during the next game we might see some rain, but even then it would just be some sprinkles is what it looked like on the radar, as that first pitch is in for a ball. And we're underway here in the bottom of the fourth. Shinafare delivers, and Fry doing a good job getting out of the way, as that one would have been a little bit of a stinger there right on the quad.
Off the maybe ankle or lower leg area, it looked like.
As I cannot see the players as well as my good old friend Michael Hale can. Shinavare delivers the 2-0 count, and it'll bring it to 2-1, 3-1, as the scoreboard in left is behind a little bit right now. That's going to be a walk for Fry as she'll take her base. Now up to the plate, Taylor Robinson. She got out to the shortstop her last time up. Cove over there playing short. That's a strikeout and the throw to first, but Fry took second on a delayed steal attempt. That's going to put a runner in scoring position for Robinson. As Ponton went to lay the tag down, but Fry had already taken off.
Yeah, the back pick attempt from Brooke Vandenberg, and then the tag attempt by Ponton, and then just, but the runner Fry just took off on the throw.
How frustrating does that have to be if you're a pitcher and your catcher makes a pick, but then once thrown over to first, nobody's aware of where the runner's at, so ends up being a good delayed steal attempt.
It's a tad frustrating, but as a pitcher and with my mindset, it's my fault that the runner got on in the first place, so it's not a good feeling.
As a swinging bunt will advance Fry to third, but the runner will be out at first. That's, of course, Huffman. As we were talking, Robinson did fly out to first as well, so there's two away. Shinavare delivers for strike one. Pitcher versus pitcher matchup right now. This is going to be out to shallow center, and it's going to be an RBI single. Runner does not advance, so no error will be accredited. And the Bulldogs get back on the board to cut the deficit to 5. Now up to bat. It's going to be number 5, Brianna Scott. Shinavare delivers on the pitch, and it's going to be fouled down the first base line.
Starting to warm up here in Adrian, like you were alluding to earlier. It's now 45 degrees.
As that's in there for a strike. So 0-2 count with 2 outs and a runner on first for Shinavare as she faces off against Brianna Scott. And that's going to be a called ball, so 1-2 is the count. Shinavare delivers. Scott chops this foul back behind first.
A good protection swing by Scott there, with 2 strikes, just battling, trying to get to the see the next pitch.
as I'm sure she has a pitch location she's looking for, as Shinovare delivers this high. And it's a good play by Vandenberg to check first but not make the throw, as that's how the delayed steal attempt happened earlier, which ultimately led to the run. Shinovare delivers, and that's going to be outside for a ball. That'll draw the count full. Shinovare could get into some trouble here if she gets another runner on. This one chopped to the second base side, and a great play made. Force out at second, as that'll be the inning. 1 run given up by the Lakers, but the score still 7-2 in favor of Grand Valley State. Don't go anywhere as you're watching club softball here on ACTV.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Bulldog fans, welcome to the home of Adrian College Athletics. Brought to you by Adrian College Television. Follow us on social media to be connected to the latest broadcasts, news, highlights, and more. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, X, and TikTok. ACTV's social media handle is at Adrian College TV on all platforms. Thank you to all of our fans who tune in to support us at ACTV.
Score is 7-2 in favor of the visiting Lakers, and they're dominating in just about every category so far, as they have 12 hits to the Bulldogs 4. Only committed 1 error thus far. Bulldogs have unofficially committed 4. And we've seen the umpire walking around with his book in hand, so indicates a switch of some sort, but did not see anybody make a change. Up to bat for the Lakers is Ponton. Holmes delivers the pitch. Ponton choked up on it, but it will be foul. It's a very close play there, as it almost skipped off the third base glove before being officially foul. Not mistaken, it would have ruled that ball fair. Ponton been very successful on the day today, as this will get over the second base head into right field for a single.
Yeah, Elizabeth Grady unable to get her glove up quick enough to deflect it or catch it. So then it's going to go down as a single, and kind of just an unlucky single if you're the Bulldogs.
Yeah, about 2 inches down, and that's a phenomenal play made over there by the second baseman. As this is high, deep to center. Now coming in is Huffman. She'll make the play. Ponton retreats back to first. That's going to be the first out of the inning.
Brings up Brooke Vandenberg, who reached on an error in the 4th and came around to score.
So Vandenberg, she'll chop this over to the third base side, and it's on to first for the second out of the inning. Nice throw over there by Brianna Scott.
and that's going to bring up Casey Scott, the DH. She has a double in the single, and then an RBI ground out in the fourth.
As this is going to be strike one. So a swinging strike there. Unable to make contact with Scott. Holmes gets her call from McClanahan. She'll deliver for ball one. As Scott awaits, Holmes winds and throws. That's going to be strike two. So a 1-2 count with 2 outs and a runner on second. Holmes winds, and that'll be high for ball two. McClanahan, great pop to hold the runner on second. The Lakers base runners have shown aggressiveness in this game. So this is drilled down the third base side and thrown over to first, as that's going to be another out for the Bulldogs as Scott throws it to first. A little bit of deja vu as we get out of the inning with no runners scoring. And you're watching club softball here on ACTV.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
Shinovare gets her warm-ups in. As you can tell the difference in weather, as now some Lakers defenders are starting to grab some tinted eyewear before this inning begins. Of course, scoreboard still sitting at 7-2 in favor of the Lakers. Bulldogs trying to make a late comeback here, as they were able to get their offense rolling late in game one. But it has slowed down in this game once again. Up to bat for the Bulldogs is Kozel. Still having a conference over there with the umpire is Bulldog coaching staff.
You just have to wonder if it could be the impending weather. Although the weather's not supposed to come in until later this afternoon.
Book back out by the home plate umpire, but I've still yet to see any changes made, curiously enough.
There definitely was a change, though, because Coach Caitlin talking to the Grand Valley coach about whatever switch happened, and you could see Blue there adjusting his book.
As Kozel awaits the first offering. It's going to be in for a ball. wherever the change was, it's not in the on-deck circle either, as that's going to be strike one looking. Shinovare delivers this. It's going to be high and foul territory, but an easy play made by the first baseman. And that's going to be Grace Odenbach over at first. In for strike one. Brings the count to 1-1 with one out. Grady.
I'm not rocking with.
So with Geico, we can.
That's going to skip over for an out. McClanahan now up, the catcher for the Bulldogs. Shinovare delivers. It's going to be high. That's in there for a strike, so brings the count to 1-1 with two outs. It's a 7-2 ball game in favor of the Lakers. Shinovare sends that one in just high. Well, a little bit more than just, but 2-1 count. Now McClanahan puts some contact on it, and it will escape Odenbach over there at first. Like to see McClanahan put this one in play. Try to reach first.
She did have a single in the first inning.
She'll sky this one to left, and the play is made. So the Lakers will retire the Bulldogs in order and get out of the inning as we prepare for the bottom of the fifth. Don't go anywhere as you're watching Club Softball on ACTV.
Adrian College is looking for leaders, student athletes with the tenacity to keep the Bulldogs at the top, the forefront, in and out of the classroom. The Bulldogs are looking for talent, character, hard work, grit, leaders who can electrify sold-out crowds, got out a last-line shift, will their team to victory, hit a grand slam in the bottom of the ninth, and be a part of a legend in the making. Think you have what it takes to become a Bulldog? Visit adrian.edu to learn more.
Adrian College is a pinpoint like no other. With our 77 undergraduate degrees, 47 majors, and 21 broad fields of study, Adrian has a one-of-a-kind, hands-on learning experience for everyone. Do you want to visit the campus of Adrian College in person? Visit adrian.edu/campus-visit. Again, that's adrian.edu/campus-visit. Come take in the beautiful facilities at Adrian College for yourself.
And we're back, as just got out of a scoreless fifth, and now we prepare for the top of the sixth. I mistakenly called it the bottom of the fifth last time. Grand Valley sitting at 13 hits, Bulldogs at 4, and nothing's really changed in this game since the fourth inning.
Yeah, the pitching's really settled down as we've gotten into these later innings.
So you're curious if what the change is watching at home. We're still curious as well, as we have not seen any differences out there. Umpire keeps checking his book. Maybe he is curious of what the change is as well. Some miscommunication, but Cove is in to bat for the Lakers. The shortstop looks to lead off the inning. Pitch is in for a strike. Holmes starts ahead in the count. Holmes winds and delivers. Cove down to the third base side. And that's going to be a double. Officially found what the change was. That's going to be Simpson moving to third. And Kozel is moved over into short. This is high into the air. Kozel camps under for out number one. Runner stays at second.
So the Bulldogs just got rid of their DH.
Holmes delivers this for a strike. 0-1 count with one out, and Cove on second for the Lakers. And a diving play made by the second baseman. Phenomenal job laying out to make the grab.
Elizabeth Grady. Amazing play. Probably saving an extra run from coming across.
Almost definitely saving the extra run, as Holmes will deliver. First pitch is a ball. Grady checks the runner at second, but Cove wisely gets back. Holmes winds and delivers. That's going to be hit over to Grady. A falling stop, and she'll get the out at first to end the inning. And I think Holmes needs to give Grady some thanks, as Grady was the main reason the Bulldogs stayed clean in the top of the sixth. And we'll be back for the bottom of the sixth as you are watching Club Softball here on ACTV.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Hello and welcome back. My name is Sean Whitmer, and joined with me in the booth is Michael Hale on the call. Of course, Cam Overmeyer, our director for this evening, running the show for Game 2, as we will get a different crew on for Game 3. Of course, second game of a triple header. Grand Valley won the first 14-7. They're currently leading in Game 2, 7-2. Haven't seen a lot of action as of late, but Bulldogs are going to look to grab some momentum and maybe cut this deficit down. Coming up to the plate is going to be the newly third baseman, Simpson. Shinovare winds and throws. In there for a ball. Shinovare once again delivers, and that's going to be a foul by Simpson. In there for ball 2. Brings the count to 2-1 in favor of Greer Simpson. Simpson will sky this one. It's going to be a routine play for the right fielder. It's going to be
Brooke Mellick.
Now in for the Bulldogs is Caitlin Fry. Watch the first pitch in for a strike. Waiting the second. Shinovare delivers. Fry sends that back for a foul. Shinovare cuts that one in for a ball. Fry back in the box. Shinovare delivers. Fry chops it up the middle. Play made second to first. And that's going to be out. So Shinovare keeps the runners off the base paths with a little bit of help from her fielders.
Another two up, 2 down. And Chinavare's retired her last 9 batters.
So now coming in is Robinson. The first of that series of batters to get retired. As she'll sky this one to the right center gap, and coming over for the play is the right fielder, Mellick, as she'll help Shinovare retire the inning as the Lakers go in to the final frame, up 7-2. You're watching club softball here on ACTV.
Looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
Welcome back here on ACTV as the Bulldogs are down 7-2 in the 7th inning. If you're just joining us, this is game 2 of a triple header, so we're only playing 7 innings for this game, and then game 3 will be in a different live stream shortly after this game finishes out. Holmes gets the signal into her stance. She'll deliver as that's going to be hit down the third base line for a foul. Avery Halo into bat. She got a hit her first time up, but struck out swinging in her second and third at-bats. So trying to turn things around before game 3. Holmes to Halo, and that's going to be in there for a ball. Another one of those close calls that could have gone either way. Umpire gives it to the batter, drawing the count even. Holmes winds and throws. It's a swing and a miss. It seems to be foul tipped. So strike two either way. One-two count for Halo. As Holmes delivers. Halo watches that in for a ball. It seems when the calls are close, umpires giving the tie to the batter in just about every scenario. Holmes winds and throws, and that's going to be fouled back. Count stays even at 2. Holmes delivers. Skied foul down towards the left fielder by Halo.
Pulled the hands in once again on the inside pitch and just yanked it foul, and just battling here to see another pitch.
As we mentioned, Halo struck out her last 2 times up, trying to avoid doing the same here. As Holmes gets Halo to chop this one straight into the air, and it's going to be a routine play made over there by Greer Simpson at third. So Bulldogs get the first out against the leadoff hitter. Now up to bat, Caitlin Ponton. She's hit in every inning except the 6th.
And 4th.
Yes, and 4th. As that's in there for a ball.
And Haley Holmes has retired the last 4 in a row. So she's definitely settled down and is looking to keep this streak going.
Holmes in for a ball, so 2-0 count. The 2-0 pitch is bunted by Bunting. She tries to beat it out, and she's out at first. A PFP made there by Holmes. And I think if she'd have left that there for Greer Simpson, there was no chance of a play being made.
Yeah, and with that ending up just shy of the pitcher's circle, and with the pitcher ending just inside that circle, that's just an easier play for Holmes to make.
Starting off the next batter with a 1-0 count, same as we've seen for Bunting, or for Ponton, mind you. So now Melick up to the dish. Holmes delivers, and Melick will foul that straight back. Melick stands in, ready and waiting. Holmes delivers, and Melick with a swing and a miss. That'll bring the count to 1-2 with 2 outs. Holmes looking to get her last out of the game right here. Holmes gets set. She winds, and that's going to be in there for a ball.
Nice play by Kylie McClanahan behind the dish, saving it from going to the backstop. Didn't mean much, but So it shows your pitcher that you're willing to go out there and make a play for her.
Well, it also shows the coach, right? Because this is still, game 2 of 3. So if McClanahan wants to get the game 3 nod, as that ball is in there to draw the count full. If McClanahan wants to get the game 3 nod at any defensive position, really, showing that she's still going to give effort down 5 runs in the bottom or in the top of the 7th, will help her get the nod. As Holmes gets this in there, and it gets past the third base side into left field for a single. Melick will stay at first.
Yeah, that's just a great swing by Melick. Pulling the hands in on the inside pitch and getting the single down the line.
Holmes' delivery just high, so a 1-0 count. Holmes winds, sends this in for a swinging strike by Vandenberg.
Appeared to be some sort of change-up, as it caused Vandenberg to swing way ahead of the pitch.
It's in there for hit down the line, and it's going to be just foul. Hit off the base of the wall right outside the foul pole out there in left. So Holmes letting everyone get set. How she'll do so as well.
She also wanted a new ball, as that ball is now currently sitting in Coach Probelski's hands.
And more of the same fouled out down there towards left field. If Vandenberg can wait just 1 second, she's going to take this one straight up center field, where there's a massive gap between center and right now. Holmes delivers. Vandenberg waits, so it's going to be in there for ball 2. 2-2 count. A lot of foul balls.
This is going to be pitch 6 or 7 here in the at-bat.
Holmes delivers inside for ball 3. Chopped down. Simpson scoops it over to first for the out. And the Bulldogs able to get out of that inning with no damage for the 3rd inning in a row. So we'll get ready for the bottom of the 7th. You're watching Club Softball here on ACTV.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
Welcome back. as we get ready for what could potentially be the final inning here in this second game. The Lakers are up 7-2, and they're 3 outs away from grabbing their second victory here in Adrian, Michigan. Shinovare awaiting her catcher. Of course, Brooke Vandenberg, the last out of that last inning, so had to run back and get her gear on. Conference occurring between the coaches for the Bulldogs staff. First up to bat for the Bulldogs is Huffman, the center fielder.
She's 0 for 2 on the day with a strikeout and a ground out.
Shinovare awaiting. She'll throw in for a ball. Shinovare gonna deliver for strike one. It's gonna put us at a 2-1 count. Now we're up to 3-1. Shinovare delivers. And that's going to be a strike. A very delayed strike 2 call. As Huffman was already 4 or 5 steps towards first. Shinovare delivers. And there's ball 4. Huffman takes her base. First player on. Now up for the Bulldogs. It's going to be Holmes.
Pitched a great game today. Hoping to help herself out and get back out for the top of the 8th.
As she'll swing and miss at the first offering. Makes it an 0-1 count. That's in there for strike 2. Holmes hacks at it. It's going to go foul. Stays an 0-2 count. Shinovare delivers. Holmes gets it through the infield. And we're going to have runners on first and second. Get your rally caps on as the Bulldogs are trying to make a comeback. Now up to bat is going to be number 5, Brianna Scott. Was playing third base earlier in the game, now no longer in the field. Pitch is in for strike 1.
And that's the second straight first pitch strike that we've seen from Shinovare.
So Shinovare going to deliver. That cuts inside on Scott. So 1-1 count Shinovari delivers. Scott, swing and a miss for strike 2. Looked to be well behind that.
I wouldn't be surprised here if we see Chinovare climb the ladder with another heater.
As it's going to be chopped right up the middle, and runners will all stay. So bases loaded with 0 out, and up to the plate is going to be Kozel, Sarah Kozel, up to the dish. First pitch, going to be swung on, hit foul, behind the Bulldog bullpen. Shinovari. Delivers in there for strike 2. Third offering, going to be a ball. Kozel showing some patience. Shinovari winds and throws, and Kozel will foul that one off.
Good job battling by Sarah Kozel. Trying to just keep the line moving here in the bottom of the 7th like we saw in the first game.
And Kozel going to foul it back again, staying alive. Just battling off every pitch that's not where she wants it. Shinovari would not be surprised if she gives a ball here to try to get a swing and a miss, and it'll be chopped up off the third base under the shortstop. So every runner advances and one comes across. The tying run is at the plate. Up to bat for the Bulldogs, Elizabeth Grady. She'll send one into right, over the right fielder's head. The runners will all round. Coming around third, and it's going to be a 3 RBI triple. The Bulldogs have increased their chances at extending this game. The tying run is on third with 0 out.
That's a great swing and a great location to hit it. Just out of the reach of the right fielder Melik's reach, and it got all the way out to the wall, and now the Bulldogs are within 1 with the game-winning run and Kylie McClanahan at the plate.
McClanahan could be the hero of Game 2 after the Bulldogs lost by 7 in Game 1. So that's going to skip in. And a good job holding steady at third by Grady.
And it's going to be important for the Lakers to keep Grady at third base.
McClanahan chops it right back up the middle. Grady checks at third. First out for Shinovari.
Crucial out to get there. Brings up the 3-hitter Greer Simpson. Looks like we might have a pinch hitter.
Simpson watches in. Ball 1. It's going to be low. Tying run still at the plate. Or winning run at the plate, mind you. Tying run at third.
And the pass ball will likely score the runner with the backstop being full of mud.
As you found that out the hard way in between Game 1 and Game 2, walking across that backstop to go get some lineup cards.
Well, I walked through the dry part of the infield.
As that's chopped out to right. Runner tags from third. And it's going to be a tie ball game at 7 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bulldogs could win it. After being down 7-2 for the last 3 innings, the Bulldogs come back and tie it up.
And it's Caitlin Fry, who is 1 for 3 on the day today with a walk.
She'll draw the first pitch ball. Shinovari delivers. Second pitch in there for a ball. Wonder if her confidence is starting to shake a little bit. Shinovari delivers. It's going to be high for the ball. 3. So 3-0 count. Shinovari sends that one inside for ball 4. And the winning run is standing at first. Robinson up to the dish.
Robinson 0 for 3 on the day. 2 flyouts and a ground out.
As that's going to be fouled back. In the first game, Robinson
struck
out in her only appearance, as this is fouled back for strike 2. If Shinovari can get Robinson out here, we will head to extras. That's in there for ball 1. As Robinson chops this one to the right field side, and that'll end the inning. But we'll head to the 8th as the Bulldogs tie it up with a 5-run inning. Don't go anywhere, as we'll be right back here on ACTV.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1-to-15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
A ghost runner on second as we get ready to play the 8th inning here. Of course, ghost runner rules I'll leave to my colleague in the booth.
It appears that the runner on second base will be the last out from the previous inning, a lot like the MLB. And in this case, this will be Brooke Vandenberg with Casey Scott at the plate.
Holmes will have to get out of the jam if she hopes to set up her team in a very favorable walk-off position. Scott waits the first offering. Holmes delivers. It's a bunt to move over the runner to third, and the throw on to first is the runner out, but a steal, and Vandenberg will steal home. Nobody was watching the runner behind as she took first on the bunt and stole home after the play was made at first.
aggressive and smart base running by Vandenberg and the third base coach waving her around as the Bulldogs were kind of slow coming off of the base. And it's an easy way to just steal a run.
Unfortunately for the Lakers, the Bulldogs got a chance to witness what just happened and maybe do more of the same when they get a chance, as Holmes facing off against Cove.
2 for 4 on the day with a single and a double.
This is chopped foul down the third base line. So an 0-1 count for Cove. Holmes getting the call. She'll get set. Delivery from Holmes. Cove skies this one into left field. And a play made out there for the second out of the inning. Up to the plate for the Lakers is Ava Bunting.
She is 2 for 5 today and has 2 singles.
Holmes gets ready for the first offering against Bunting. And Bunting will sky this one into right. Holmes gets out with only 1 run added. And it was the ghost runner who scored. So the Bulldogs in a favorable spot as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Club Softball here on ACTV.
10 years ago, Adrian College Television set out on a mission to bring the excitement, the passion, and the unforgettable moments of Bulldog athletics to fans everywhere. From the field to the court, from nail-biting finishes to championship victories, ACTV has been there to capture it all.
Yeah, Jordan Spear, happy birthday, buddy. I'm sure.
This year, we celebrate a decade of dedication, 10 years of innovation, teamwork, and delivering the energy of Adrian College straight to your screen. Here's to the next chapter of ACTV, because at Adrian College, the story is just beginning.
And we're back as ghost runner for the Bulldogs is going to be Taylor Robinson. Up to the dish for the Dogs will be Huffman.
Drew a walk in the 7th inning to start the Bulldog rally. Came around and scored.
Huffman gets ready. Shinavare. The quick delivery for strike 1. As we've seen, the ghost runner played a big part in the top of the 8th as the Lakers were able to advance the runner and then steal home as Huffman, mind you, chops that one foul. Robinson ready to move from second. Bunt really out of the picture now. That pitch is in there. It's going to be chopped foul. Odd angle on the swing by Huffman.
But swinging bunts aren't.
Very true. So Huffman awaits the pitch. That's going to be high, and it's going to advance the runner to third. And a bad throw advances the runner home. Robinson comes in to score, tying the game back at 8.
And that's going to go down as an E2 on the throwing error.
A passed ball advanced the runner to third, and then an E2 advances the runner home to score and tie us back up here in this ball game. So now the winning run at the plate as Huffman sends it over to second for the out. Bulldogs still with 2 outs to play. Up to the dish is Haley Holmes, the pitcher of today's game. She could be the hero in every aspect as she started to slow down that Grand Valley State offense after the 4th inning. And if she gets her offense rolling here, she'll be the MVP as she swings on the first pitch for a strike. So Holmes gets ready for the second offering from Shinovare. Shinovare delivers. In there for strike 2.
Holmes taking a little extra walk around the in foul territory, trying to gather herself and try to put a ball in play.
Holmes watches in, ball 1. Being a pitcher, giving her a little bit of an advantage there, knowing how the umpire has called at least half the pitches on the day. Holmes skies this one into the air, running in for it, and almost a collision in shallow center, but the put out is made, and the Bulldogs offense is handed over to number 5, Brianna Scott. Started the day at third base. She's moved off from playing the field. We'll see if her extra focus in the box will help her. She could get the Bulldogs offense rolling. She'll chop this one down the first base line, foul.
Yeah, she's essentially the DH at this point, as the positional switch a little while ago was pretty much just a defensive switch.
Now Shinovare looks to deliver, and Scott will watch that in for ball 1, a 1-1 count. Scott will watch in ball 2. So Shinovare falling behind in the count. This is in there, chopped back to Shinovare, who makes the play. And it's out at first for Scott. And we're going to head to a little bit more free softball here as you're watching club softball on ACTV.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth, introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time that you will always look back on as special years. Never experienced before you arrive today, and never replicated after you graduate.
Holmes versus Jubic to start the 9th inning as we're tied at 8-all going into extras. If you're just joining us, you might be wondering how we're in extras at the 9th inning. It's because in a triple header, you only play 7 regulation. So a ghost runner on second. Holmes delivers. Jubic went for the bunt. Nobody covering second base. Otherwise, the big leadoff could have been troublesome for bunting.
You wouldn't even really want to throw that because on the throw down, then the runner just takes third and there's no chance.
That's going to be in for a strike. Looked to break inside a little bit, but caught the plate. Jubik awaits the pitch from Holmes. It's skied into the air to center field. Runner looking to tag, and a great play made by Huffman, falling down awkwardly but sprung right back up to hold the runner at second. Of course, Bulldogs, if they're able to get out of this inning without giving up a run, that ghost runner could be all the difference they need.
Yeah, and you saw Huffman get the late break on that fly ball.
As Holmes delivers, it's going to be in there for strike one against Odenbach. Holmes winds and throws. Odenbach fouls it back over the booth here.
And Odenbach is 3 for 4 on the day with a double, 2 singles, and a run scored. And that double came with 2 strikes.
Holmes delivers. It's going to be high. Throw back to Holmes. So there's 2 out. Everything lying on Odenbach right now. So that's going to be high. If I'm not mistaken, it should only be 1 out. Scoreboard currently says 2, but we're going to roll with ours and call that as 1. Odenbach only the second batter, as that's going to break inside. Runner will have to hold it second as Odenbach got hit. So there's 2 on. And with 1 out, that sets up the double play situation for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and if you're Holmes, you have to realize the strike zone's been low all day, so you just got to keep throwing it at the knees or even a little bit lower, as we've seen those be called strikes.
As this is bunted to move the runners over, and it will be foul. So a little bit of a jog there out of Halo. She'll have to jog back and resume her at-bat, sitting at an 0-1 count. Interesting to see if we're going to have another bunt attempt here. Still 1 strike to play with.
I would not be surprised to see it.
As there it is, and it's going to roll foul as well. So if Halo is unable to get the first 2 bunt attempts down, bunting here would be very dangerous, as if this one rolls foul, it would be out. An 0-2 count confirmed by the umpire.
And Holmes here, you have to think to throw it low, try to get the swing, as those have been, like I said earlier, called strikes throughout this day.
Holmes goes high just to spite you. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runners on first and second. As Holmes looks to deliver, she winds and throws, and it's fouled back into the backstop. Runners will have to hold.
And those last 2 pitches might have been a setup for that potential ball in the ground.
as Halo awaits. She'll chop this one foul as well. Once again, I think Holmes is hearing what you're saying and wanting to do everything different.
Maybe.
Halo gets in the box. Holmes receives the pitch. Now she'll get ready. Goes into her windup, and that's going to be outside for a ball. Nice job by McClanahan to check both runners before giving it back to the pitcher. Holmes delivers, and that's going to be chopped foul once again. Pitch looked low and in.
And that's where you want to keep the ball. And you still have a pitch to work with if you're Holmes, so you wouldn't mind missing with a pitch that it does end up missing low.
2-2 count. Holmes delivers. Swing and a miss. So that's out number 2.
The at-bat finally ends after about 8 or 9 pitches.
Well, I think Holmes wanted to end it her way and not your way, so she took a couple pitches to do it, but she ended up getting it where she wanted.
But that's okay. The outs happen regardless.
As the pitch comes in, and it looked like the batter leaned into the pitch. So the bases will be loaded. Melick up to the plate.
Has 4 singles on the day.
This one skied into the air, shallow left, and a diving play, but it's going to get down. Runners move to second and third, and 2 come across the plate to put us at 10-8.
That scored 2 runners, with that being Bunting and Odenbach.
Now up to bat is Vandenberg. She skies this one back. And some contact made in the left center gap, but that'll get us out of the inning. As you're watching club softball here on ACTV.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1-to-15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
Hello and welcome back as we are having some fun in extra innings right now. Score sitting at 10-8 in favor of the Lakers, as the Bulldogs hoping to capitalize in extras to try to steal this win away, as they were down 7-2 before the bottom of the 7th, where they accumulated 5 runs, and then they matched the Lakers with 1 run in the 8th.
And for the Bulldogs, the runner on second base is going to be Brianna Scott. She scored in the 7th inning. And Sarah Kozel is at the plate.
As Kozel will swing and miss at the first offering from Chenavare. And this one hit straight into the air. Going to be a nice play made by the center fielder. Up to bat for the Bulldogs is going to be leadoff hitter Elizabeth
Grady.
Brain spaced out there for a minute. So Grady will have to advance the runner and herself, as there's 1 out already. She is the tying run.
In baseball, that's a balk, and the runner on second would advance. But in softball, that's only a ball, and so now it's a 3-0 count.
So it's a 3-0 count. This ball fouled back. Chenavare delivers. So that's going to be ball 4. Grady will take her base. So the tying run at first. And up to bat for the Bulldogs is the catcher, McClanahan.
She is 1 for 4 today, with 2 flyouts in the 7th, grounded out to shortstop.
As that one's going to be fouled back to the backstop. Would like to see the Bulldogs get some runners moving a little bit. As McClanahan sends this foul, it was just a few feet over that foul line. If that goes fair, runner from second likely scores.
I think the runner on second easily scores, and even the runner on first could be scoring, depending on how the ball moves out there.
Of course, grass and dirt here in the softball field, as that's going to get down in the right center gap. Runner rounds third, and that's going to be the 9th run scored by the Bulldogs, as they have runners on the corners and a chance to take advantage for number 23.
Greer Simpson hit a sac fly in the 7th to tie it up.
As third base coach giving some signals, and it's going to be a bunt call, pulled back, re-bunt, and then pulled back again for the strike.
Yeah, that kind of bat movement is more so to just throw off the pitcher, as well as maybe trying to get the bunt.
As Simpson skies this to left, runner tags from third. And the runner will be in safe to tie this game back at 10.
So once again, Greer Simpson hitting a sac fly to tie it up. And now there's 2 outs for the cleanup hitter, Caitlin Fry. She drew a walk in the 7th.
And the patience stays as she'll see the first pitch in for a ball. McClanahan sitting at first. That's the winning run. As Fry chops this one to short. And the throw over. And the runner called out. A bang-bang play. But the umpire had a better angle than we did, calling Fry out as we're tied at 10 going into the 10th. And you're watching Adrian College Club Softball here on ACTV.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
I'm a recent graduate from Michigan State University.
I'm an underwater cinematographer.
So I didn't really decide I wanted to become a pilot till after college.
Jevy is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
Involve yourself as many opportunities that you can.
The number one most important thing is knowing your own weaknesses. Proper planning.
Breakfast.
It's always something different, something new.
The fact that you can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
The catcher is out, and the warm-ups have commenced as the Lakers come into the 10th inning with 15 hits and 2 errors, while the Bulldogs sit with 8 hits and 4 errors. But they've come alive as of late, keeping this game tied after the 5-run bottom of the 7th where they tied it up. It's going to be Vandenberg as the ghost runner on second, and coming up to the plate is Scott.
I believe the batter is actually Ellie Cove with Casey Scott on second base. Turns out I'm the one that's wrong.
So it is Vandenberg on second with Scott up as the pitch is high. Fed back to Holmes. Scott works the count to 1-0. Holmes sends it in. Scott bunts it as that's going to go foul. Bulldogs fielders having some fun out there. Holmes gets set. She winds, delivers, and that's a perfect bunt right back to Holmes. But the runner is out at first. However, doing its job perfectly, advancing Vandenberg over to third. Would not be surprised to see Cove copy the Bulldogs a little bit and just try to pop one into the air into that outfield. As Holmes offers, and it's going to be sent down the left field line. It stays fair. It's going to roll into the corner. Runner comes in from third, and Cove moves up to second. So Vandenberg scores to bring their total to 11 as the Bulldogs sit at 10. Bunting comes up for the Lakers. Runner sits at second with 1 out in the top of the 10th. Holmes delivers. Bunting sends it over the third base head. And the runners will stay put on the corners. So 1 out. Runner in scoring position for Jubek. Holmes gets ready to throw. She'll send this one in as it's bunted, and it will roll foul unmessed with as it went right through the legs of Simpson.
Great heads-up play by Simpson, realizing the spin on the ball and where it landed in fair territory, knew that the ball was going to go foul, giving her team an extra possibility of getting a double play to end the inning.
So everyone stays put. Holmes gets set once again. Throws over. The bunt is laid down. Runner out at first, but runner safe at home and safe at third as well. The double steal between second and third puts a runner at third with 1 out. For Odenbach.
Walked in the 9th.
She's back up here in the top of the 10th. She'll slap this one over to second. A flashy play made to get the runner out at first. And that's going to be the 3rd out. Great play made by Gary. As we will go to the bottom of the 10th. Don't go anywhere as you're watching club softball here on ACTV.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1:15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
Bottom of the 10th inning in what was meant to be a 7-inning contest as the Bulldogs came back late and they're looking to take the win here in the bottom of the 10th. Lakers put up 2 runs in the last 2 innings. Bulldogs answered with 2 in the bottom of the 9th. We'll see what they can do here in the bottom of the 10th with Taylor Robinson up to bat. She'll hack this one back foul.
Robinson started on second base in the 8th inning.
As she'll watch in ball 1, so a 1-1 count for Robinson. Of course, ghost runner over at second. And it's going to be skied into the air, back towards center field, tracking it well, but the runner will tag from second over to third. Robinson tried to jump the fence, but just a little too shallow on it. Coming up to bat now is going to be the center fielder, Huffman.
And Robinson just missed a home run by a couple of inches.
As Huffman stands in the box, ready and waiting. Pitch comes in. It's going to break inside for ball 1. Now in there for ball 2. Great job working the count by Huffman. Chenavare delivers for strike 1. 2-1 count with 1 on and 1 out. Huffman chops this shallow right center, and the second baseman with a phenomenal play. Runner stays at third.
Maybe a base running blunder by the Bulldogs with not tagging and trying to at least make it a 12-11 ball game with the second baseman ranging to her back and going away from the plate.
As Chenavare tried to correct that potential blunder for you, as she almost threw that ball straight into the backstop. Holmes up to bat. She'll hack at this into the right center gap, and that is the ball game. The Lakers stop the threatening Bulldogs late in the game, and they come away victorious in Game 2, looking to carry their momentum into the third game of this triple header, starting a little later than was originally scheduled. But the Lakers win 12-10 in Game 2, 14-7 in Game 1. We'll see what transpires in Game 3, as that will be on a separate broadcast, so look for that on our YouTube channel. My name is Sean Whitmer. Joined with me is Michael Hale, and we'll see you next time.